Our attempt to swimming the English Channel in a relay team of 6 finally become real. 9 days of roller coaster of not knowing when and if it was going to happen. Monday, 11 p.m, waiting at Dover Harbour. Still half expecting that something will go wrong and come up to prevent us from going, just like it had for the past 9 days. We thought we were well prepared. Months of training, nutrition well planned, all the gear packed and ready. We had no idea what we were about to experience.
Go! Woo!
10 seconds!
Go on!
Go, 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 go! Lights on, Marie.
Have you got your lights on?
Shit, no.
GG!
Yeah, behind him. So here we are in Dover Harbour at 11 p.m, ready for our start. So we're all standing at the gate waiting to be let in. We have Strawberry Moon, and after 9 days of delays and problems with the boat and all sorts of up and downs, it looks like we're leaving. So wish us good luck, and I'll post some updates on the way.
Our boat for the swim just parking up. Moon just ducking behind some clouds. Our teammate Dominique.
This is Anastasia, a 42-foot Dutch steel flybridge motor cruiser and one of the most recognized boats on the English Channel. She's been escorting swimmers across these waters for years, registered to carry passengers up to 60 miles from safe haven. She's also the boat that caused us 10 days of heartache, but tonight she was fixed. She was waiting, and so were we.
Planning on swimming to on the left and head that way, and we'll reposition ourselves next to you. When it comes to changeovers, so each swimmer has to do a whole 60 seconds. Then.
Yeah. Budgies.
Yeah. Medications and other
Nothing.
Yeah. At the last minute. But we were on the last day of our window.
And off we go. We had our safety briefing from the boat crew, and our observer from the Channel Swimming and Piloting Federation, Sarah, has run through the rules we had to follow. We made our way out of the shelter of the harbour and to our official starting point, Samphire Hoe. The moment we cleared the harbour wall, everything changed. The boat started pitching and rolling in the swell, throwing us around in the dark. Our stomachs churned, and despite of the seasickness patches we were all wearing as a precaution, we all started to feel ill and suddenly fell silent, reflecting on our decision to sign up for this challenge.
Yeah.
That way, first one goes this way.
Come on down.
Sorry, next.
Just keep there for 2 seconds, guys. Yeah. Let us know when you're ready, Rob. Yeah. Yeah, go then. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Go! Woo! Go on! Super crab.
Every English Channel relay swim begins the same way. The first swimmer enters the water from the boat, swims to shore. They must clear the water completely, both feet on dry land. They raise their hand. The observer confirms the signal, the clock starts. Then they swim back to the boat and the crossing begins. Andrew was our first swimmer, an Ironman triathlete, a man who had run marathons in desert conditions, swam 50 meters in sub-zero temperatures, and completed more physical challenges than most people attempt in a lifetime. If anyone was going to start us off the right foot, it was Andrew. He made it to shore without difficulty. Hands up, clock started, and then he turned around to swim back to Anastasia. What happened next stopped us all dead. The waves at Samphire Hoe were bouncing back off the rocks, a wall of churning, conflicting water between Andrew and the boat. He swam hard and went nowhere. The waves took him forward and threw him back, forwards and back. For what felt like an eternity, he was trapped in that zone. completely at the mercy of the swell, his lights flashing in the darkness. At one point, we lost sight of him entirely. The waves were that high. At first, someone made a joke, "Come on, Andrew, we haven't got all night," but the laughter died quickly, because it became very clear, very fast, that he was genuinely struggling. Our strongest swimmer, trapped within meters of the shore, 10 minutes into a 15-hour crossing. Nobody said anything. We just watched and quietly absorbed what we were seeing. Eventually he broke through and then immediately started retching. He'd swallowed so much salt water fighting those waves. We watched him trying to compose himself in open water, in the dark, in the middle of the English Channel, and we held our breath. If the observer felt he was in danger, the swim could be stopped right there. But Andrew is not the kind of person who stops. He composed himself, he settled into his stroke, and our first hour officially began. He told us afterwards that in those 5 minutes, trapped by the waves, he genuinely wondered whether he'd made a terrible mistake, whether the training, the preparation, the years of endurance sport, whether any of it prepared him for this. That's what the channel does. It humbles you within minutes, and Andrew is one of the toughest people I have ever met. While Andrew swam his first hour, let me explain how a relay crossing works. 6 swimmers, 1 hour each, rotating in order until someone's feet touch French soil. The order is flexible, you can change it right up until the last swimmer of the first round enters the water. After that, it's locked in. We would put our strongest swimmers at the front, Andrew's first, for obvious reasons after what we just witnessed him push through. Then Marie, ex-army, now working in search and rescue in Scotland. Not someone who gives up easily, she's a tough cookie. Third, Jonty, naturally athletic, former rugby player and living in Jersey where open water swimming is just part of daily life. Fourth, me, grew up swimming in lakes and rivers back in Hungary, and I put everything into training for this. Fifth, Katie, my good friend, born and raised in New Zealand, a swimmer her whole life. And sixth, Dominique, who 2 years ago had already successfully crossed the channel as part of a relay team of 5. She is a tank engine. Once you put Dominique in the water, she simply doesn't stop. That was the plan. But plans on the channel have a way of changing. Katie's seasickness, already bad when we left the harbour, was getting significantly worse. She was physically sick, getting weaker, and we were genuinely worried about her. Putting her in the water in that condition wasn't a decision any of us took lightly. So we made a call. Katie moved from position 5 to position 6, giving her as much time as possible to either recover or make her own decision about whether she could swim at all. Andrew's hour was nearly up. Marie was ready, and none of us knew yet how the next few hours were going to unfold.
He's going really well.
Get down on the platform, ready to plunge.
Okay.
And we'll count you down for that. 30 seconds.
Okay. I'll jump down. I'll go around.
Go behind him.
Yeah, what you need to do is just overtake it. The lights on, Marie.
Have you got your lights on? Shit, no.
Time.
Let us count. Let's count.
Right, we're coming on. 10 seconds.
So I've got to go out and around.
Yeah, behind him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go!
Who's watching?
On the platform. Come on up. Can we get them put down here?
Yeah.
So we don't fall over.
Marie was in the water. I was 2 hours away from my turn. 2 hours sounds like a long time, but on that boat in the dark it wasn't. I couldn't find the horizon, the one thing you're supposed to fix your eyes on when you feel seasick. Just darkness and movement in every direction. The patches behind my ear weren't touching it. The ginger tea went down reluctantly. The ginger biscuits barely stayed down. The nutrition plan I'd carefully prepared, the protein bars, the electrolytes, everything I was supposed to be fueling on 2 hours before my swim, completely forgotten. The thought of swallowing anything made it worse. What made it harder to understand was that month earlier, we'd done a practice run in Dover Harbour, 6 hours on a boat, taking 15-minute turns, practicing changeovers, getting a feel for the conditions. Not one of us felt sick. 6 hours and everyone was fine. We thought we knew what we were signing up for. The English Channel at midnight is a different animal entirely. Before we left Kingsdown, we'd built a playlist together. Everyone contributed. We had glow sticks. We genuinely thought we'd be out there dancing on the deck, singing along in the dark, making memories. That was the plan. Instead, we sat in silence, and then there was the image I couldn't shake. Andrew, our strongest swimmer, trapped in those waves at the start, retching, struggling. I wasn't questioning whether I was going to get in the water. That was never an option, but somewhere in the dark on that pitching board, 2 hours from my turn, I genuinely didn't know if I was capable of what was ahead. Katie was getting worse beside me, and none of us were saying very much at all.
Send the ladder and hold on tight. Then when I say jump, jump.
Okay.
30 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Come in, Marie! Come in, Marie!
Marie, you're on.
Touch your right! Yeah!
Yeah.
Go, Jonty!
Grab the white handles.
Up the handle!
Grab high, grab high.
While Jonty was in the water, Sarah, our observer, was filling in the official order sheet, locking in the sequence of swimmers. She was kind enough to try to distract me with conversation. I appreciated it, but at some point I had to be honest with her. I was feeling so sick I needed to focus. In reality, I was just trying not to think about what was coming up. The English Channel at night has a few surprises nobody really mentions. Cuttlefish, and there are plenty of them in these waters, migrating through the channel in groups. They are attracted to light. The powerful reflector beam that follows each swimmer can draw them up from the deep, darting toward what they think might be a prey, only to realize at the last moment that this particular catch is considerably larger than expected. They turn sharply, but not always before brushing against the swimmer. Described by those who have experienced it as dozens of tiny light strokes across the skin, startling, unsettling, or oddly pleasant, depending who you ask. Jonty was hoping to experience it, but he didn't. There is also bioluminescence microscopic plankton that light up when disturbed, turning the water around a moving swimmer into something that looks like scattered stars. Channel swimmers have described it as one of the most magical things they have ever seen. We didn't see that either, but we were looking. I went below deck, got changed, looked at myself in the mirror for a moment and told myself I could do this. Back on deck, swimming hat on, dry robe on, lights on, standing at the platform, waiting for my countdown.
He was just going for the quickest change every
Yeah.
time, wasn't
Why
he?
was that about 3
Bonkers,
seconds?
Yeah.
Go, Gigi!
Have a seat. Oh, you nailed that. Oh, you were flying.
I was in. I've swum hundreds of hours in open water by now, lakes, rivers, and some in the sea, over hours at a time. I thought I knew what an hour felt like, but I had no idea. The plan was simple: 30-minute warning, then 20, 10, and 5. We had made a board specially for it, each swimmer choosing their own countdown. I just needed to get to that 30-minute mark and I knew I could do the rest. I stared at the board every time I came up for breath. waiting and waiting. At some point, I genuinely convinced myself they had forgotten about me. Surely it had to be an hour by now. It had to be. But the board stayed blank. On the side of Anastasia, there is a large smiley face, a sticker you're supposed to sight on to keep yourself on course. In daylight, I imagine it's reassuring. At 3 in the morning, I couldn't see it. All I could see was the blinding white of the reflector light every time I turned to breathe, then darkness as my face went back into the water. Light, darkness, for an hour. The waves had settled slightly, but they were still irregular, short and choppy rather than rolling, so you couldn't really find a rhythm. Every breath was different. Sometimes I would come up and the boat was right beside me. Next breath, it was far away. Sometimes a wave would slap me in the face as I tried to breathe. You couldn't relax for a single second. The whole hour felt like being on high alert, body and mind, with no break, no rhythm, no moment, just to settle and swim. And then finally, the 30-minute board, halfway. I could do this. The most magical part of this leg of the swim was when I could see the smiley face slightly, and I knew that the sun has come up. This was the most beautiful sunrise in my life.
Where maybe the 2 minutes or when it is 2 minutes?
Well, I was going to say I made it. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When I came out of the water, my first thought was Katie. Dominique was in, swimmer number 5, which meant Katie was next. And Katie looked awful. She'd been sick for hours, throwing up, getting weaker, unable to keep anything down. We had moved her to the last position to give her more time, but time hadn't helped. None of us could make the decision for her. That's not how it works, and it's not how it should work, because the weight of that decision is almost impossible to describe. Over a year of training, everything planned around this moment. You are here, in the English Channel, in the dark at 4 in the morning, and you have to decide. But this wasn't just about whether she could physically get in the water. In a relay, if the swimmer in the water cannot finish their hour, the attempt is over, for everyone. It wasn't a question of giving it a go and seeing what happens. If Katie got in and couldn't continue, 6 people's crossing ended right there. So we waited, and nobody said anything. Andrew was below deck, asleep. He had had a brutal start and needed whatever rest he could get. The rest of us sat with our own exhaustion, our own hunger, or our own doubts. None of us had slept. None of us had eaten properly. It was past 4 in the morning. About 15 minutes before her turn, Katie made her decision. She wasn't going in. There was no drama, just quiet relief that she hadn't risked her health, and quiet sadness for what she had had to give up. We let her rest. Then someone went below to wake Andrew. We were now a team of 5. Each of us would have to swim longer. Nobody complained. Nobody needed to. Katie's battle wasn't over though. She was stuck on that boat for another 10 hours, seasick, exhausted, unable to go anywhere. She just had to endure it, and she did. Andrew was back in the water for his second swim. We were making progress. Ahead of us, the shipping lanes, some of the busiest waters in the world. And then we saw the first jellyfish.